Hi. What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. Very excited for today. We're gonna walk through a very fun one. We'll even have a little surprise with it. And we are going to determine if a list of things means if someone is a bad partner. And then what do you do when your partner changes their mind about having kids? We're about to find out. So friends, before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm almost at 100 followers. Please help me get to that goal. It's free. We all love free. And look, the way things are going in this country, well, depending what country you're watching from, it's getting tight. So take on the free entertainment, friends. I'm here for you. And let's jump into story number 1. Okay, for story number 1. What are signs your partner hates you? 34-year-old female and 35-year-old male. I feel like my boyfriend actually dislikes me. Woo, woo, woo. I need some outside perspective on whether these behaviors from my boyfriend actually indicate that he dislikes me, or is it his ADHD and trauma? Friends, there's only one way to find out. All right, friends, it's double mic. We are getting ready for our game show today, which will be, does my boyfriend hate me, or is it ADHD and drama? Let's begin. All right, number 1, he never asks how my day is when I have a day off or work. I have brought it up and he says he expects that I'll tell him if there's anything to say. Now, this is giving more disengaged person. This is like I don't really care what's going on in your life. Why should I? It gives classic narcissistic male, which would lead me to say he doesn't like you. That's strike 1 in that category. Moving on to number 2, we have he doesn't hug or kiss me unless it's to say goodnight. Now, some people are a little less affectionate. That could be due to their own personal issues, maybe a traumatic thing from the past, but most likely he doesn't feel like doing it because, yes, you guessed it right, he hates you. That is 2 in that category. Are we going for 3? Let's find out. This is embarrassing for you. He doesn't make plans to do stuff with me except things that he enjoys, like going on walks in nature. It sounds like he loves himself but doesn't quite care for you. I know you're thinking, well, maybe his thoughtlessness is related to ADHD. This isn't him forgetting the keys. This is him forgetting you. 3 for 3. That's a turkey in bowling. What is it called here? It should sound like separation, but you're still with them. Here we go with number 4. He doesn't like sleeping in the same bed. Now, some people don't like sleeping in the same bed because a partner can be snored. They like to spread out. They're not really big cuddlers. That is normal. In fact, a lot of healthy marriages, I think it actually helps marriage rates if you end up sleeping in different beds. It gives you your own place of solitude, so you don't have to share it. So, out of context, without knowing the previous questions, I would say no, this isn't one that means that he hates you, nor is it probably related to ADHD or trauma, just probably a preference. But considering that we were 3 for 3 in the negative category, I'm going to have to add that in as well. We are now at 4. Girl, this list, it's not doing you any favors. Moving on to number 5, we have he gets very angry if I try... Woo! Pray for her, y'all. He gets very angry if I try to talk about how I feel or if I'm upset and want to discuss something. He says he's sick of serious conversations. Now, this one could be related to trauma, doesn't want to have these certain feelings, wants to avoid talking about the difficult things. Absolutely, this could be related to a traumatic experience. While I know you're thinking, at least there's one in that category, surprise, I'm going to put it in both. I don't think he likes you, and I think it's connected to some issue he has that is unresolved. Trust and believe, if he really cared about you, he might try to. It wouldn't be this bad. He might try. That's what I should have said. Hard stop. All right, number 6. He only half the time. Okay, great. He only half the time bothers to respond to my texts. Now that could be ADHD. And just to throw you a bone, we'll just put it under the ADHD section. We'll just There we go. You're already getting drowned. 5-2. And it's a questionable too. Okay. Number 8. Sure. He says that he'll do all these things to help me out, but rarely follows through. Either I'm assuming he forgets or can't be bothered. A little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. We'll add it to both. It could be ADHD, but because he doesn't like you and we know it to be confirmed now, we're just going to add that in. 6-2, questionable 3. Next one up, we have he has never said that he loves me. Some people take time with that. I don't think that's related to trauma. I don't think that's related to ADHD, but I think it's related to that he hates you. That's going for 7. Can we get an 8? Bill. Who's Bill? I don't know. I don't care. I don't give up. He can't say that I look nice or compliment me over anything. Well, now you're just asking to be a different person. Woo, amazing. All right, let me just take this off. Surprise, it was me all along. Couldn't recognize me without the glasses. Wow. And to end it, says, I'm starting to think he actually hates me. I don't know where she got that thought from. That's crazy. We live together and have been together for a few years. I'm starting to get intrusive ideas that he's only with me because he can't afford to rent by himself. Hey, is it intrusive thoughts or is it the Lord saying, get out? I wonder if he's with me because he can't afford the rent. He's with you because he can't afford the rent. He's with you because you're probably providing things that are good for him. Whether that's like he gets to complain, he gets someone to do things with. Yeah, he gets to complain to you, so he gets to offload emotionally. He gets to do the things that he wants to do with someone, which is nice. And have someone to have some kind of physical intimacy on his own accord. He's chilling. And he's made it very clear that he doesn't want to provide anything for you. He could care less about how your day was, what you want to do, how you're feeling. It's also giving there's some financial aspect that you just didn't dive into here as well. I don't know what to tell you. And you're what? How old? 34. 3-4. That is 3 decades and 4 years. That's almost another half a decade. You ain't gonna leave. You know he hates you. You know, you had a list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 things. You had 9 things on this list. I think we ended with 7 of these on the list. 7 or 8 being confirmed. Yeah, he probably hates you. I think it's like 6 confirmed he hates you. 2 very likely he hates you. And you couldn't have written this list yourself and said, you know what? No, this was my answer. I had to do that once when I was getting ready to leave someone. I said, maybe I should just write out the list. It wasn't like the reason I should stay, the reasons I should leave. I was like, what are the problems that we have? And I was like, what things are the things that I need to do? And I had some things on the list, like 3 things. And what were like, I wrote out all the issues. I think there were 15, but probably honestly 12. 2 or 3 of the things were me. I was like, oh, well, 2 of these things are related to my insecurity. So I was like, I need to like work on that. The other one was more of a gray area. The other ones were hard him. I said, this 9 out of 11, 9 out of 12, it's giving, math-wise, 75% him. And I knew that. And I was allowing me being in that relationship to make me start to be part of the problem, which was my insecurities bringing up some problems. But I'm like, they're only coming up because it's like he started it by intentionally doing things to make me uneasy. But that was his way of like getting the claw in. No mas. Duolingo, bling. No mas. You should leave. That's obvious. You know it. I know it. The internet knows it. Reddit knows it. All right. What does it say? If it feels like he hates you, then that's your answer. That's the first comment. ADHD and trauma aren't excuses for being cold, dismissive, or emotionally unavailable for years. You're not asking for too much. He's giving you the bare minimum. That might even be a stretch. And even that's shaky, yes. You're not crazy. You're just seeing it clearly. Don't waste more time where you feel unloved. But she's going to stay. She's going to stay for 2 more years, and then he's going to break up with her. Or he's going to either break up with her when he finds someone else that he can probably move in with, and or he's going to stay for 2 years until she demands a ring and he's not going to give it to her. And then she decides to leave. But then you just wasted your life, or I shouldn't say wasted your life. You wasted these precious years with someone that you know doesn't love you. Time is precious. Don't move along. When all you gotta keep is gone, move along like you know you should. I forget who sings that song, but listen to it, girl. All right, story number 2. All right, my husband changed his mind about kids, and I don't know what to do. 28-year-old female and 29-year-old male. I'm struggling. Clearly. Me and my husband finally got married after being in a relationship for more than 10 years. 28, 29, 10 years. Okay. I said 10 years and no ring. I think you have your answer. If you got married in 10, you probably got engaged around like 8.5, and they were teenagers. So you probably waited a good amount of time. Okay. I could be with it. I wanted to have kids. I've always wanted to have kids. And for that reason, I asked multiple times throughout our relationship if he wanted to have kids as well. And the answer was, yeah, I want kids, but not at this moment. I always feel like, but why not at this moment? Because, right, it could be like, I think we're too young. I would like to explore the world and travel with you, right? I don't think I would want to have kids when we're financially stable. I don't plan on kids until we are married, and I see that in our future, but I don't see that right now, right? It's like not at this moment is fine, but like, what is the reasoning? There's a bunch of valid reasons. I don't think you should be pushing on any of the reasons within reason, right? But I think you should be able to be specific about, well, this is why it's not right now. It's not a no, but it's not right now. But it's very easy to just say not right now when you don't have an answer. And the answer is actually like, I don't want to have kids. We met in high school and both of us went to college. So we were both focused on our future careers, and that made sense. Absolutely. Fast forward, we have a lengthy discussion about me coming off birth control finally and start trying in the following months. I go off birth control, and we wanted to wait a while before trying right away to regulate my hormones. We decided to get married as we didn't know what more we were waiting for. Sure. Now to last night. I brought up the fact that I would like to start trying for a baby, and now he tells me that he doesn't know if he is ready for a baby. Okay. I asked, what is making you feel like you aren't ready? And what would make you feel like you are ready? Good. I think it's a great follow-up question. And his answer, I guess I should say I don't know. I guess it should say I don't know. I don't know if I will ever be. Yeah, and that's the wrong answer. In this case, I'm not sure if I really want to have kids. Now, what point were you planning on telling her that, sir? How are you going to marry this person and you're like, I don't know if I want to have kids? And don't even use the thing of like, I didn't even think it was that important. If she's bringing it up throughout the years, this is a conversation you're having very often. You intentionally were avoiding it. That's messed up. The first part about it, I was like, well, that's fine. I don't feel like I'm ready. I feel like I would like to do things as a couple. I want to, again, for example, I have friends that like are fully willing to have kids and they want to have kids. They're like, I'm not ready for that now. They're in their early 30s. They're like, they got married in their late 20s. They're like, I'm still enjoying getting to know my partner, just the two of us. We are still buying property. We are still getting to travel, and we don't have to worry about slowing down our lives at this moment when we know that we want to have these experiences, and we will continue to have these experiences, but we just won't be able to do it as much when we have a kid, right? It's like we want to have a kid, but like not right now, right? That would be a fine answer, but that's not what he said. He's just like, I don't know in general. I never wanted to put anyone in this position. I understand that not everyone wanted to have kids, and I respect that. I tried so hard to give him the opportunity to tell me how he truly felt, and I feel lied to. He tells me it's the what ifs, something with the baby, me or him. What does that even mean? But I tell him that we could go through every single. But I told him we could go through every single what if, but we can't tell what we would do until we are actually in that situation. Absolutely. You can only do so much planning. After 2 hours of tears and a conversation that just kept going in circles, I needed to leave and go for a drive. I got my driver's license. I just needed space and to get air and away from the house. Before I could leave, he stopped me and asked, I know it's about to be some bullshit. So what you're saying is that I either lose you or have a baby? That is such a shitty thing to say. That is such like straight up manipulation, because she wouldn't, if you said that you didn't want to have kids, she wouldn't have been with you. And you shouldn't have wanted to be with her, because you shouldn't want to, if you really loved her and you knew she wanted to have kids, you would have let her go. And you said like, there's someone out there for you that wants to have kids, but for me, it's not going to happen. I don't see it happening. And if it's like a, okay, sure, but like I just need more time, that's a different story. But that's not what you're doing. You're trying to make her feel like if you really loved me, you wouldn't let a baby get in the way. Well, if you really loved her, you maybe you would give her a baby. Why is it one way? Daryl, I don't know his name. Or maybe I just looked at him and said, I don't know the answer to that. I never wanted you to have to make that choice. And I left. I don't feel like eating, as this was a huge deal breaker to me. I mentioned that we should both do genetic testing for ourselves and the possibility of therapy. Genetic testing to like rule out if anything could happen to the child, any surprise diseases or something. But I do not know if either will resolve any of this anxiety. Oh, one of the comments says, first one, you are young enough to start a family with someone else. Absolutely. I do not understand. Yeah, I don't understand. I guess that's the end of the statement. I know it's so difficult. One of the things I appreciate about Hinge, even though I have notes for her, I do appreciate that you can say if you want to have kids, if you're open to having kids, or you don't want kids at all. I think especially if you're dating for a serious long-term relationship, and in a lot of those cases, it's like I'm looking for a lifetime partner, which is for a lot of people ending up being married. Wanting to have kids is a very important thing to a lot of people. And if you are going to skirt around the idea, that's not fair. Now, I know for me, I'm very open to having kids. I am leaning more towards I could, but I could see a world in which no, especially with the way things are going. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't. But I really don't want to close that door. So if someone was like, I don't want to have kids at all, I don't want to date that person because I'm not fully convinced. I would love to be with someone that like, they're like, either I want to have kids. I'm like, great. If you're very certain about that, I can swing it, like for sure. If someone's like, I'm open to it, it's like let's get to know each other. Let's talk. And after a while, I think we're going to, if you're really genuinely open, I think we are going to sync up in a way where it's like, I think I would like our lives to move in this direction of having a kid, or I feel like we don't need that extra person in our life for our relationship. That is all fine and dandy, but like you have to be very open about those things, at least very early on, right? You don't have to say in the first date, which is why it's nice if it's on the Hinge profile. You don't have to waste your time like asking necessarily. But if it's a random person and you're in your mid 20s and beyond, at some point you should be asking. I don't think you have to be very direct with it when you're in your 20s, but definitely in your 30s, I think you can be very direct. Like, do you want to have kids? I think you can ask that on the first date, maybe even the second if you want to be safe. And I don't think you have to ask it directly. I want to make that clear, because some people are like, do you just want to have kids? And I know I said directly, but for me directly, I just mean like bring it up. For example, you just say like, oh my gosh, yeah, how many siblings do you have? Nice. Oh, you have like one sibling? Did you always want to have like more? Yeah, no. Yeah, I always thought about like, right, you can like kind of like weave the conversation and get a good idea. Look, trust me, if you ask them if they have siblings, how do they feel about having a little, if you were a single child, it was like, oh, well, if you had kids, would you want to? Easy way. That's just a hypothetical question. If you snuck it in right after asking about sibling, you just get a little creative, friends. Have fun. Spice it up. All right. And transition scene. Hello, he's back with the glasses. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. I really want to get to 100 subscribers. The goal is to get beyond that. So, if it gets to 100, let's just keep ratcheting it up. But it would mean a lot to me. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, show some care, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.